Back off of our bye week. Welcome to Lombardi Sweep. Trevor Land in the middle, Luke Rammer on the right. I am Zach Bruner, and doing things a little bit differently today. We're always so structured. We always talk about the Packers in a specific way. We always talk about the injuries. We break down the game for you, which you guys love. But we gotta mix it up a little bit, and then we pick the game. We're gonna do a little differently. I think it is important to talk about the injuries just because coming off a bye, and we got some big injury news. So we will hit that. We will introduce the betting odds for the game, but then we have 3 questions that we need to go over, and that is the theme of the show today. So, week 6, Packers coming off their early bye, first bye week of the NFL season. They were in that first bye week slot. So early bye, it kind of came at a good time, but it's going to be a long stretch the rest of the way. Packers are at home, 325 game against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Packers are 14.5-point favorites, 44.5 over under. So not a ton of points, and a blowout is what the sports books are predicting. Packers notoriously have not been able to create any separation with their opponent this year, so it's interesting to see that. But coming off a bye, maybe they're extra prepared, maybe they're healthier. Who really knows? Now, injury report. We got a long one. We got a lot of names, and we got 2 names that we haven't heard in a while. We'll start with those 2. So 2 players are designated to return off injury reserve, neither of which are Marshawn Lloyd, who may or may not exist. He may have never existed. We are actually not 100% sure. But the 2 names we got are Christian Watson. We've seen him running, doing drills. He definitely seems close. So he will be an added name to the receiver room. We will see what happens when he gets elevated. I don't know necessarily what they specifically do or how the snap counts shake out, but we will see. He's probably not this week. I would give him another week, but you never know. And then the other name is Jacob Monk, who had that hamstring injury. He is going to be much needed depth on the interior offensive line. And to be completely honest, it wouldn't fully shock me, given the way the health is going and given the way the Packers have played so far, which I would say is poor on the interior offensive line. It wouldn't be the most shocking thing to see him get some reps at center, moving Jenkins to guard, either guard, pick whichever one, draw it out of a hat and kick the other person out of the lineup. We shall see. Probably left guard, just because I don't expect Aaron Banks to be healthy more than 2 series at a time. But those are 2 guys coming back. And then a lot of limited participation, but I don't think it's necessary to read all of them because I think they all go. That includes Aaron Banks. But 2 players, did not practice today. That's Devontae Wyatt. He has a knee injury. That's not great. And then Anthony Belton, ankle injury. And I can't say this enough. That's good news. So keep him out. Any huge takeaways, any big thoughts about probably mostly those players coming back?
Yes. The takeaway for me being right. So to your point about Devontae Wyatt, it'd be nice to have, a guy who can kind of stuff the run. I think the Bengals, I don't know, I'm making up the stat or saw the stat. It's kind of like Marshawn Lloyd. Like Twitter kind of feels like Marshawn Lloyd. But does Twitter even like really exist? Do people actually like post things on Twitter?
That might be our first question.
It's a great question. But I guess the idea of this tweet that I saw was something along the lines of Chase Brown has the most touches by like 50 without a 15-yard gain. And this feels like a game that Cincinnati can kind of get Chase Brown going a little bit based on, teams being able to run the ball against the Packers this year. So that kind of sucks, not having a defense tackle and then having Chase Brown, who has maybe been this is dramatic, but has maybe been the worst starting running back in the league, go for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. That kind of feels like it's possible in this game.
Yeah, I hope it's not. If he goes for 100 yards, I would say very bad news for the Packers.
Yep.
That would mean that the Packers are not up by at least 14.5, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, and that's worrisome. Not that, again, that's probably a dramatic thing, right? 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, but the idea of not having an inside run presence who has played well in his young career at stopping the run, not there, that possibility jumps up as, that possibility is not zero.
True. Trevor, do you have any big takeaways from those injuries that we just named? Or injury news, people coming back?
Well, I mean, he's kind of somebody coming back. Joe Flacco's back against the Packers again. If this is a game where Jake Browning is starting, the Packers win this by 45 points. He has looked absolutely atrocious. Joe Flacco with these weapons is a little different story, right? The offensive line is still bad, but I mean, Joe Flacco can beat the Packers if you let him. So I think for me, he's not an injury, but he's a new guy on the team. He's going to make it closer than Jake Browning would have. I'm not saying they're going to win the game, but you have to be a little more careful with him than if it would have been Browning for sure.
See, that leads me into my first question, and it is directed exactly towards you. Last time we brought up Joe Flacco, you considered it a joke. You laughed in our face. I talked about how good Joe Flacco is. I called him Footsteps Joe Flacco. I said he could run for 85 yards against the Packers. He did not do that, but he did get a win against the Packers. Are you doubting about him? Yet again, it sounds like you're not.
I'm looking. I don't know if I'm doubting him or not doubting him. The question is, can somebody get Jamar Chase the ball? Like
Schrodinger's Flacco.
Jake Browning can't do that. I don't think he can do that. I don't think he can get anybody the ball but the opposing team. Joe Flacco can do that. So it's up to the cornerbacks to be able to lock Jamar Chase down. Because if Jamar Chase gets open, Joe Flacco's going to be able to get him the ball. I don't think that's necessarily beating the Packers. I think that's just being an NFL quarterback that can play.
True. Luke, did you have a thought about that?
I'm interested.
About Joe Flacco?
I'm interested to know how many quarterbacks beat the same team in a 4-game stretch when that quarterback played for 2 different teams. Because this feels like this is a very unique thing in the NFL.
It's got to be 0.
That could happen.
I have that. So Joe Flacco is the second quarterback since 1950. He would be to start and beat the same team just in the same season.
Okay,
so 2 different teams.
So I have to imagine it's 0 for 4 weeks then.
Yeah.
My point being is, as a casual observer who's not, Packer hardo and has not dedicated their life to seeing everything that the Packers have done for the last almost 30 years of my life, that would be kind of pretty cool to see. As a Packer fan, that would be absolutely horrible to see. So as a football fan, it'd be great. As a Packer fan, bad. I'm worried about Joe Flacco. I am. I do think, maybe outside of some skill positions, I think the Browns might be a better football team than the Bengals, which is kind of crazy to say. So I'm a little less scared that way. But I mean, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are 2 guys that can win games by themselves, to Trevor's point, just by getting the ball to them. So yeah, I mean, it's scary. I'm not scared of Jake Browning, although his girlfriend, wife, whatever, she's a good-looking lady. Other than that, there's nothing about Jake Browning that I guess is even really notable.
I don't know. People, I think the recency bias is that Jake Browning's bad at football. That's not true. It's just that Jake Browning, what is going to be the same for Joe Flacco, and it was the same for Joe Burrow, is getting his ass kicked because he doesn't have an offensive line.
Fair.
Jake Browning's not a bad quarterback. 2 years ago when he started without Joe Burrow, he had a stretch where he went 354, 275, 324, 335. Much like Joe Flacco, he's going to give you balls that you can intercept, but he can pass just as good as anybody. If he gets any sort of time in this game, doesn't matter who the quarterback is. If they get any sort of time, Packers are fucked because of Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Quite literally, we could run a 0 blitz every time, and that is just as risky as dropping back into zone. Because if either the pressure gets there or it doesn't really matter. It's just if it gets there, we win. If it doesn't get there, we're going to get beat.
Yeah, I don't hate running Brian Flores cover 0 the entire game, to be honest.
Yeah, screw it. Who cares? Have Micah Parsons nothing but going after the passer. Let Rashawn Gary just sort of collapse that side. Having Devontae Wyatt on the inside would be huge. Then send Bullard on pressure. Send all those deep backs. That would be great. That's exactly what we need. That's it. Yep. Run that cheetah coverage with Van Ness at D tackle too.
Awesome. Love that.
That's going to be the Bengals offensive line. I can't explain it. Is bad. And there's a real chance Joe Flacco retires before the game starts and at halftime, because Joe Flacco wasn't expecting to start this season whatsoever. Then he starts for the Browns. He's like, fine, whatever. Then he gets benched again, and Joe Flacco's good. He's chilling. Then all of a sudden he's traded, and he has to go to the offensive line that just got Joe Burrow potentially a career-threatening injury.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Flacco wants none of this.
Can't
that being
blame him.
said, no. But that being said, Joe Flacco loves making history. And I just said, 1950, he would be the second quarterback ever to beat the same team twice in a season on two different teams.
Yeah.
And what Joe Flacco makes history. That's the one thing I know about Joe Flacco. So, and I would say, like, people have been debating, and I don't even know why it's a debate. Like, who does this benefit more? Seeing the same quarterback on a different team in such a short span, does this benefit the Packers more? Does this benefit Flacco more? I'm not sure if there's any doubt that it benefits Flacco more, because there really isn't much to take away from playing against Flacco on a different team. It's a completely different offense. It's going to be different checks. It's different receivers. It's different all of everything. Now, the one thing that Flacco has a big downside for is, one, that offensive line. But two, it's that he has no connection with anybody there. So that, if there was 1 week of separation, like if we played Joe Flacco next week, I think that's bad news. But the fact that we got him on a short week, and I think there's no doubt it's Flacco, by the way. It's not going to be Browning.
Can I interject for just 1 second?
Go for it.
To me, with not having a connection with players, I think it's kind of interesting, right? Because now, here's my weekly segment of Luke brings up Baker Mayfield on the Los Angeles Rams. I mean, he came in 2 days, and he tore up. Now I know that was a bad Raiders defense, but is there even a game plan to just go play football? Joe Flacco, don't think about anything.
I hope so. Well, as a Packer fan, I hope there is a plan. As a fan of football, I hope there isn't a plan and Joe Flacco gets to play backyard football, because that would be fun to watch, and he would have most success with that.
And that's how the Packers lose this game, by Joe Flacco playing backyard football.
And again, it all comes down to pressure, because if the Packers get in his face immediately, and I went back and listened to us talking about this exact thing against the Browns, and the whole thing was, hey, we need to make sure he's fucked up in the first quarter. And I think my exact thing I said was, make sure it's the last game he starts for the Browns. Mm-hmm. He started one more, but it was close to it. Yeah, pretty darn close. But we need this to be Joe Flacco's final game.
Yep.
Like, Packers need to be putting the pressure and hurting him right away, because it doesn't take long for Jamar Chase to get open.
Yeah. If this season comes to a point where the Packers miss out on the playoffs by 1 game, and they have 2 losses to Joe Flacco, that would be very tough.
See, Joe, I mean, here's the thing. If Joe Flacco and the Bengals win now.
Yep. Weird to say, Joe Flacco and the Bengals.
I know. Weird. And he may make it the 4th AFC North team if Rodgers gets hurt, bring him to the Steelers. But which leads me into the point. Who should trade for Joe Flacco after, in order to make sure the Packers do not make the playoffs? Like, the Bears have 2 more matchups against the Packers.
At what point?
That makes sense.
At what point, like, they lose on you lose Sunday? At what point does the Packers trade for Joe Flacco to make sure it doesn't happen?
That way. Does that mean then you do beat yourself, or then you wouldn't be able to beat yourself?
I think that's more of the idea of, you keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Having Joe Flacco in the building, everyone would be on edge.
Yeah.
Because you're walking amongst greatness.
Yep.
Not many players from Delaware. Joe Flacco is one of them. He's a blue hen.
Lamar Odom was Rhode Island.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. He's not dead.
Is he alive?
Lamar Odom?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe he's doing much better than when he had his coma at the strip club.
I mean, yeah, great. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe Lamar Odom's alive.
Huh. I thought he was flying the helicopter with Kobe.
Maybe. Hey, I got a question
Don't
for you.
know. Great.
Start, bench, cut, 6 men. Lou Williams.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna name 6 people.
No,
Okay,
no, no.
sorry, continue.
3 guys. Lou
Okay,
Williams,
good.
Manu Ginobili, Jamal Crawford. Start, bench, cut.
He lists 6 people that were on that plane.
Yeah, I'm like, we're gonna start bench cut 3 choices for 6 people. Okay, I gotta listen. Okay, so we got Manu, we got Jamal Crawford, and who was the other one?
Lou Williams.
Lou Williams. I'm cutting Lou.
I think I am too.
Come on. You cannot cut a man who went to a strip club for wings. Come on.
You don't think Jamal Crawford's done that every day of his life?
Oh, wait. Was that Jamal Crawford or Lou Will?
No, that was Lou.
Yeah.
That was Lou.
Okay, it was. Okay, good.
I'm just saying Jamal Crawford's done it too. Manu has not, but
Oh shit.
Well,
I got Lou confused with Jamal. Okay,
feel
yeah,
like-
Jamal's
I
over
feel-
Lou.
Manu might be a player in Argentina.
I'm sure he is.
So
It's like Dirk in Germany. He can do
Yeah.
whatever the hell he wants.
my answer, and I think the correct answer to this is you're starting Manu just because he was, for whatever my money's worth, the second best player on a Spurs dynasty. That was probably the best dynasty in NBA history. And then you are benching Jamal Crawford just because you need the vibes. You need just a hooper on the team, and you're cutting Lou Williams, which sucks. 'Cause I love Lou Williams, but I think he's the worst out of the 3.
Yeah, he's good vibes though too.
Here's the thing about that. The most ridiculous statement I always hear is about like the Celtics dynasties. There were like 10 teams, and you had the one guy that was over 6'8". Stop it. That's nothing.
I mean, those Larry Bird highlights though. Different dynasty. It's a little bit later. But
Yeah.
boy.
But we need to chill on Bill Russell a little bit.
Goat.
Yeah,
Bill
no,
Russell's the best.
most overrated player in NBA history.
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely.
The
We
dude,
retired
Will
number
Chamberlain's
6
the most
for what?
overrated player. Are you kidding me?
no. Bill Russell, people are calling him a top 5 player ever, and he averaged like 15 points in
Yeah.
his career.
No. Get him out.
Yeah, but he averaged like 30 rebounds and like 40 blocks.
Whatever. Wilt,
Again, he's 5 feet taller than everybody. No.
Wilt is, and this is a reference for maybe one person, is the Emily Harrison of Elk Mountain High School.
Oh, interesting.
He can make
Right.
a layup, and he's 2 feet taller than everybody. It didn't matter. Wilt did nothing.
Then how come Bill Russell
Listen.
didn't do what Wilt did?
That's true. That's
Because
true.
he's slapping the floor playing defense. He's not letting anybody cherry pick him.
But you know what? I will agree with you. There is no shot Will Chamberlain scored 100 points in a game. That is my conspiracy theory. I have seen video of everything but this man score 100 points. This shit did not happen.
I think it happened, and I think he scored more than 100.
No.
No.
No shot.
Nobody has ever said in history that they were at the game. You're telling me there wouldn't be one person that would have like a ticket stub or footage or a picture from that game? No shot.
I don't think, here's my theory. I don't think there even was a game. I think the game got canceled for some reason. And they're like, okay, what do we do? The league's struggling. We got to make sure there's a game. We got to, say something. And they took that picture. Also, he hasn't slept with 10,000 women. That's a risk. At that point in time, he would have been dead a lot sooner.
I don't disagree.
Magic Johnson got AIDS from, don't get me wrong, Magic Johnson did different things, if he even had it. But Will Chamberlain would be dead right now if he did. Wait, is he dead?
Will Chamberlain is dead. Died about.
Wilt's for sure dead, yeah.
I think he died
Okay, but from old age. He would have died from something way sooner.
He did. He died from like a heart attack.
Yeah.
No, but from like something cooler.
Correct. Would have been a disease for sure.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying too. Will Chamberlain, and we're going to say this equivocally right now, and that's not even the right word on this Packers podcast, scumbag.
No, I'm a Will Chamberlain truther.
No.
Well, the truth is he sucked and he wasn't good. And he did not sleep with 10,000.
I'm not going to say he wasn't good, but
you can put anybody on the Lakers when he fucking played and they'd win a championship. You weren't special.
How come they only won one? They won one championship with him.
Yeah, because he wasn't that good. That's why.
Anyone on the Lakers? They did have anyone on the Lakers and they didn't win.
Yeah, because Will Chamberlain was playing center.
What about before Will Chamberlain was there?
What about before?
How come they didn't win then? You said you could put anyone on the Lakers and they would win a championship.
Phil Russell wasn't there. I actually don't remember when he played. Were they around the same time period? Nobody knows because Will Chamberlain doesn't exist.
Because Bill Russell's a dog. He's the GOAT.
No.
Okay.
No,
Next
not.
question. And this is a question I just thought up while you guys were talking about your little basketball. It's mostly a question for Luke because I think I know Trevor's answer. And I promise I'm going to tie it into the Packers, okay? You guys know what Labubus are?
No fucking idea.
Okay. This is going to be a little bit tougher to explain. So they're just like these little, I think like keychain things that are like little stuffed animals that they're like taking off. They're like by the same people who do like Funko Pops, I think. They are insane. They're like the little collectible thing. China's making billions of dollars off of it. There's ripoffs that also make billions of dollars. And this question is going to be very tough to ask Luke because I think Luke's the only person with it. But I don't know anybody who has one of these things, but they're the most popular things of all time. And I was going to ask if you guys knew any person who like actually rocks with these things, like has them. And I was assuming Trevor would be no, but Luke works in a high school, and I can only assume they're at a high school.
Why was I assumed to know? You don't think I have a flourishing personal life?
Do you know a lot of people? Like, what's the age? This is like the first like huge fad thing that like fully has missed me, and I feel old. Not
No,
that I think
you're
it's
absolutely
cool or
correct.
But
I
it's
don't know
weird.
anybody, but there are some people my age on Instagram that are posting about it. So there's a weird pocket, middle 20s.
Can I be truthful here? Is this a safe space?
No.
We can try.
I've been trying to understand what you've been saying for like the last 5 minutes, and nothing is clicking into my head of what we're even talking about right now.
Search
You want me to bring up a picture of what a Labubu is?
Okay, search this up. Labubu, right?
Yep. I'm gonna bring up a picture.
Labubu?
Yeah.
Labubu, you got it. And here, I'm gonna blow your mind even more. The fake version is Lafufu. So these are, what's the camera setup like? Okay, perfect. These are Labubus. They're like these little fucking keychain things.
Yeah, it's like keychain thingy. They're like demon dolls, basically.
Yeah, and it's like gambling, but with like little dolls. So you buy them. It's like a blind box, and then you open it, and you're trying to find rare ones that are the same as the others.
So just so I'm understanding this correctly, to me, as an outsider who's never heard of these until 5 minutes ago, it seems like it's, and these are popular right now?
Huge, massive.
South Park did an episode on them.
This seems like in this generation's Beanie Babies.
Yeah. That's
kind of
fair. Yeah, for sure.
They'll just die out a lot quicker.
They're like a fashion statement a little bit, but they're going for like I think just market price. They're like $40 each, and then
you only get
a good one. They in each little package. Yeah. And then they sell for a shit ton.
This seems like something that I would have got in my Happy Meal when I was 7 years old.
Bingo. It does look like a Happy Meal thing.
Luke, I would say the best way to describe them is if you combined the idea of a Beanie Baby, but with the fad sense of silly bands. Do you remember those?
Oh, I love silly bands.
I feel like that's probably the best mesh of them.
Okay.
I found out too late that the colors or like something about silly bands had meaning, and I missed out on a lot of opportunities.
Did not remember that at all.
Oh, or maybe I'm thinking of a different. No, I think it was silly bands.
You could be right. I just could have completely missed the boat. That would not be surprising.
At least one of those like band things. It's like the color you give to the person. It's like want to fuck, or like something like that. And I did not know that.
Well, you were a different age.
Stop giving them.
Well, you were a different age than I was at the time. I was in 7th grade, so I do not think the colors had much meaning for us, but for you, probably.
Bingo. That's very true. That is very true. Okay, back to Labubu. Okay, so I assumed Luke would have been around them, and he probably is. He's going to see them everywhere at high school.
Yep.
Not Luke works at a high school. He's not hanging out there.
It kind of feels like one of the things where I don't know anything about, but as soon as I hear about it, I'm going to see them everywhere. So
bingo. So my question is, the Packers are the youngest team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee some Packers are like wanting these things. Who do you think is like the Labubu guy in the Packers locker room? Who'd you say?
Keyshawn Nixon.
That's a good call. I think that's possible.
So,
I feel like Christian Watson could be that guy.
Do you think that there's a correlation between these, like the owners of these, and the people who like buy Pokemon cards?
No.
From a collector
think so.
sense, yes, not as like a fashion
Hey,
sense.
this is not a Packer player, but Trevor, is this something that Jacob Misarowski would own?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so. This feels like a Savion Williams to me.
Oh,
I don't know enough about him.
he
But
also
maybe.
might not exist.
Fair. Every time he goes in the game, I don't believe it's him.
Right.
It's somebody else. But yeah, Trevor's right that South Park just did an episode on
Okay.
this. You got to catch up.
All right.
Butters had a couple banger lines in that episode.
So I'm thinking of like a guy who collects childish things like a Miles Turner Lego kind of guy.
Like the vibe I think we're going for is someone who collects things like childish or whatever, but I feel like they're all about show. They just want to look cool.
Yeah.
They want to be part of the crowd. Like I feel like Jordan Love doesn't have enough personality to do this.
So if you posed this question last year, I would have said AJ Dillon.
For sure. 100%. Now here's another one. I think it could be Matt LaFleur.
Maybe.
No? Talk about the guy who cares about his eyebrows more than anything isn't doing this.
So my thing with Matt LaFleur is I think he's a guy who he's an old soul. He cares about his appearance and football, and that's really all he cares about in life.
I disagree. He's the type of guy that tries to get in on the fads with the players to look cool, in my opinion. So he's like, does Brandon McManus have kids?
Probably. McManus would be a weird one.
Because if he does, Matt LaFleur has definitely been like, oh, Brandon, have you seen all the Labubus? And gives one for his kids. And Brandon's like, what the fuck are you doing?
To your point, Trevor, this fad to me seems like either a veteran dad kind of thing or a 19-year-old kind of thing.
Well, the veteran dad, like they would be getting it for their kids. It wouldn't be like Rich Bisaccia getting them and like rocking one because he has grandkids. So that's not the vibe.
That makes me think like Gen Z 19-year-old rookies.
Right. Or Christian Watson, who's the mindset of those people.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Christian Watson's not a bad answer. Now that I kind of understand what we're talking about here.
Like I feel like he's gonna show up to the first press conference and he's gonna have like there's people who go and have like these like hanging off their waist. They have like 10 of them. It just looks stupid.
Interesting.
So it feels like he's gonna have like a fanny pack on with a bunch of them hanging off of it or something. Yeah. Okay. That was my second question.
Okay.
Do you have a third question you'd like to ask for the show?
Yeah, I have a third question. Like, do we want to do game stuff first and then, or should I just pose a question? Because I feel like the question could take us in a couple different directions.
Okay, that means we can have 4 questions. My third question is who's going to win this game and why? So again, Packers are favored by 14.5, 44.5 over under.
So as I stated before, I think that the Cleveland Browns are a better all-around football team than the Cincinnati Bengals, which, you know, maybe it's just right. There's some pieces on the Bengals who are probably better than on the Browns, but as a collective whole, I think you take in a vacuum, you're taking without Joe Burrow, you're taking the Browns. That being said, I think that this is a game where, you know, against the last time we played Joe Flacco, right? Then that's the thing with quarterbacks, right? When people talk about football, it feels like people only talk about quarterbacks, that the quarterback is the only player on this team. Packers should not have that difficult of a time on offense in this game. Like, this should be the total ground and pound game to get the, you know, we kind of saw it last time they played in Dallas where the run game got going a little bit. And, you know, in order for, like we've said since he's been the coach, for Matt LaFleur offense to really thrive is that run game has to be there, you know, 60, 65% of the time. So that I'm very excited about seeing, you know, a 100-yard 2-touchdown game out of Josh Jacobs. Now saying that, this is a revenge game for TJ Slayton, who notably does not breathe well in Green Bay. So I hope that, you know, maybe that plays into a factor here. But I think the defense, to your point, if they can get pressure on Joe Flacco, this should be 14-point win. Given that the Bengals don't really care about offensive line, I feel like that is not that crazy of a thing to say. So I think Packers win in a rout here. I think this is like a 28-10 game in my mind.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I got the Packers too, because in my mind, I'm thinking even if Joe Flacco plays backyard football, which is dangerous, can he do that for an entire game? Which, yes, he can, but I'm trying to think of the mind of Zach Taylor, which is terrifying. I think he sucks. I don't think he's done a great job either. I don't think Taylor's going to allow that to happen. I think he's got a game plan for him, and I think that's going to route them in the wrong direction. And like you said, Luke, like their defense is not great. Like they have Trey Hendrickson, who's a good player, but outside of that, I don't give a shit about any of these players, and I don't think anybody does. So can Joe Flacco do this for a whole game? No. So I got the Packers pulling away late, 27-13, something like that.
That's fair. Yeah, you guys hit it though. Like Packers need to run the football. We've seen like going back to the preseason how terrible that Bengals run fit was. It was just embarrassing. They played better than I feel like I thought they would.
Yeah.
And a lot of people thought they would on defense. Not to say that they've been any good, but they've definitely been better. But yeah, Packers need to have some success running the football because this is not a team of all the teams that the Packers have let hang around. You can't let Jamar Chase and T. Higgins hang around because those are the type of people that can completely flip a game in one play, can score from anywhere, especially with Joe Flacco at quarterback at this point. Like, that's not good. And Joe Flacco has been targeting the running back like more than anybody else in the NFL so far, throwing the football. And we know what the Packers do against tight ends and running backs, and that's not covering them very well. Again, Bengals tight ends are actually pretty good. Noah Fant, got Mike Gesicki. Drew Sample's not practicing today. That would actually be pretty big if he's not playing.
Great.
He's a good blocker. I'm a little nervous. Like,
yeah, I think you're right to be nervous.
Yeah. And I can't explain how warm my heart would feel if Joe Flacco is the reason the Packers have their only 2 losses. In my mind, that's so funny. Not that I want the Packers to lose. I just want Joe Flacco to find a way to win. If there's 2 ties in a row, that's also kind of funny. I think Packers win. I think it's going to be one of those games like the Commanders game where Packers kind of dominate, but it's closer than it should be in the final score. Or maybe I have that flipped, but
no, you're right.
I'm gonna go Packers win 24-20. Like I think it's going to be somewhat close, maybe like a late Bengals touchdown to bring it closer. But yeah, we can't. I said it with the Browns game too. Like this can't be a tie game at halftime. It just cannot. We have to put them away immediately.
I'm trying the new food on Sunday.
Great. Are we gonna hit that pretzel, that huge one?
Yep.
Trevor wasn't on for that, but we reviewed the new Lambeau Foods at one point earlier. Must have been August.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that.
Some good ones there.
Yep.
Okay, so those are our picks, but Luke has one more question not related to the Packers.
Yeah, this is kind of just I like to give you guys a little inside look on my life here on these shows that we do, and just see where the conversation goes. I got invited to a bachelor party on Saturday, which it's a great spot. I think this is like one of the best spots you can be in for a wedding. Like it's my cousin getting married. I'm not part of the wedding, but I got invited to the bachelor party. So I get to do the fun things without doing the bad things and having to spend money on tuxes and staying places and things like that. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, I assume I'm not going to know any of the people in this bachelor party. We're going golfing in the morning, then we're having steaks and going to the casino after. So my whole thing with golfing is I'm not a very good golfer. And just off the vibe of my cousin, who he's friends with, like these guys might be a step down from pro. So
I gotcha.
Is I have to play fast, right? I can't hold these guys up, but I think I have to don't even care about golf and lean into like the charisma John Daly side of this, right?
100%. You have to be a vibes guy.
Exactly. You got it. You don't even have to play fast. You just have to be smart. Like if you're gonna suck, like this is what it's gonna come off as a brag. I don't give a shit. My friends are horrible at golf. I've been playing since I was 6. Just no more than 3 practice swings per shot.
I don't take any practice swings.
Exactly. That works.
I would have guessed that.
Just like you said, vibes guy, jokes. Maybe like buy one person in your cart around and just don't get in the way. Nobody cares. Like unless they're dicks, nobody cares as long as you play fast. Now, if you're the guy who takes like 5 practice swings and then you shake into the woods, yeah, people are gonna hate you. But
So the thing is my golf game is not horrible. Like I played in high school. I fell off. Like I was fine at one point, and I just haven't played much since. I only bring 5 clubs now when I go. I bring a driver, a 7-iron, a 56-degree wedge, a chipper, and a putter. So I think it's just keeping everything straight, not looking for lost balls, and not taking any practice runs.
Yeah.
But you know what you also do, and you gotta read the vibe of the room. You also, along with Chief Vibes guy, you gotta be the guy that helps other people look for their balls. Nobody hates a guy who helps other people look for their balls. If they care. Some people don't care,
I
but
disagree.
that's important.
You'd be the
If
first
they're
in your
wa-
cart to go, and first ball you find, I think you hit it.
Yeah, I've also done the move where if I'm not having a great round and I'm hitting into the woods, I just like go to where it dropped out and I just drop a ball.
That's the right call.
Yeah. Depending, like it's bachelor party, so I'm guessing you guys are gonna do shit like, worst hole.
Right.
You're gonna be drinking and shit like that. So maybe your cousin's like, that's your role.
Yeah.
If these guys are all pros, yeah,
I'm
just
happy to play that role.
yeah, eat some bread beforehand. Make
Yeah.
sure you're not dying by, front nine.
This bachelor party might be my Dennis Rodman game.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I'm a coffee guy. I love black coffee now. Took me 9.
It took you like 5 times. What are we talking about,
I
man?
did it 9 straight days.
Was it
Adaptable.
McDonald's?
McDonald's was one of the days.
Okay, I
Have
was
you
gonna say if
still
it was
done-
McDonald's every day, that doesn't count. But
Have you still done a different place every day?
No.
Okay. That would have been a lot of effort.
There's only a couple places of where I work that I know about that do coffee, so it's kind of just every other day go to a different place there.
Are you still hitting the small?
No,
every
large.
time? I love this. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm a black coffee guy now.
That's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great. So is there a power rank? How many different places have you tried, would you say? Including, okay. And so I assume you've only bought it. You're not like Teacher's Lounge yet.
Oh,
You're not brewing
not
it.
there yet. I'm
Okay,
like
so we got 4
rookie year right now. I'm not doing too much, but I'm looking good on the stat sheet.
Okay, so we got 4. That's enough to do a ranking. I need the top 4.
Okay,
What do we got?
I'll do it off the top of the dome here.
Yeah, we got to. We'll end on this.
So the first one I famously threw up on, which I don't think it's because of the coffee. I think it's because it was a new experience on an empty stomach and your body just is adjusting. That's number 1 right now. So I've gone back to that place a couple times. I went back there today and it was awesome.
Oh, great. I love that. Hell yeah.
Yep. So I had to go back a second time, right? Just to see if it was actually the coffee, which it's not because it didn't happen again. Number 2 would be Starbucks.
Okay.
Number 3.
wait, I'm sorry. What did you say was number 1? I don't remember hearing a place.
The local
It's
joint.
a local place.
I don't want to give it.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Can't blow the spot up.
Yeah. Number 2 is Starbucks. Maybe just because that's I've had that the second most. 3 is McDonald's and 4 is Dunkin'.
That's fair. So yeah, Dunkin's isn't great. It's cheap, but it's not great.
Yep.
If you go to Starbucks, are you just saying give me black coffee and whatever it is? Because they have different like brews and stuff.
Large black coffee. That's the order.
Okay, so that's interesting because some places like that, it might just be whatever they have already brewed. They might have like a flavor or like a roast of the day. So you may have a completely different experience next time you go.
Maybe. I guess I haven't really noticed. It tasted like the same every time I've gone to Starbucks.
Never know. Maybe they have like their one, this is what it always is.
Mm-hmm.
But I know they have different like roasts and stuff that they also have. Like there's a blonde roast, there's all kinds of stuff. So maybe that's the next step. And then you're like, okay, now you know the difference between this and this.
Yeah.
All black still.
Yep.
And you're not going ice. It's got to be hot. I like that.
So
has there been any place that's given you not hot enough coffee yet?
No, it's all been. I got a fresh one the other day, and fresh coffee is like a step up of like stuff sitting out there.
Yeah,
like freshly brewed. That was awesome.
100%.
No, so I think like after not drinking coffee for the first 27 years of my life, I'm 9 days in a row. I might not go a day in my life without drinking black coffee for the rest of my life.
Can we talk about how crazy this is?
So
first of all, you're like I want to be part of it. I want to be that guy with dark coffee like a
Yeah.
week ago, right?
Yeah.
And now you're talking, hey, I'm in. Like it's
Yeah.
an exclusive club, and you're already like all. That's insane that you're into black coffee in a week. You
Dude,
can't like the taste. There's no
Can't
way.
picture his life without it.
Yeah, I'm 27-year-old rookie Brandon Whedon right now, man. It's great.
That's a great
Brandon Whedon,
comparison.
notorious.
Yeah.
There's no way you like the taste. There's no shot.
So the psychology part aspect of this is I looked it up. Is that in order to like something, you need to have it 8 to 12 times, and I'm right in that sweet spot right now. So I'm
8 to 12 cups of coffee is what I used to be on as well, so that makes sense. Per day. That's what you
How are
average.
either of you alive? This is insane.
No, I'm honestly on the brink right now. I'm so tired.
So yeah, I'm a coffee guy now. Black coffee guy.
I do
This
like
is
the
going to be a
distinction.
one-man podcast in about 2 years at this rate. This is insane.
Now, once you get, and it's probably, if you go back to Dunkin', it's going to be Dunkin' first. I guarantee it. The first time you get that lukewarm hot coffee, the rage you feel
Yeah, I will
is going to be unbelievable.
I will say I've learned to drink the coffee faster now because when it gets cold, that stuff sucks.
Bad.
Yeah.
Well, cold coffee, still good. Room temperature coffee, bad.
That's okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So
Do we want to answer? So,
well, I got one more point.
Go ahead.
I remember the very first time I drank this and told you guys that it's very hot. Zach, you said, yeah, you got to burn up your mouth a little bit. I think I'm starting to get like calluses on like my tongue and my jaw. It's like when you weight lift, and your hands get all calloused up. That's what's happening in my mouth right now.
I don't
100%.
think that's good.
No,
it is.
I can't really.
I'm looking this up. That can't be good.
Any other foods or anything because my tongue's so burnt right now. But hey, it's for the love of the game, man. You go through some hardships to get to the top.
Well, it's less about that. You're just kind of killing the nerves a little bit in your mouth, but it's also just a mental thing. Like what's hot? It's like spicy food. It doesn't actually burn your mouth. It's just you got to get used to it. You got to push past it.
Yeah, I'll say Vince Lombardi did not go undefeated every year and be called the best coach. He had to go through some hardships to get that 1962 Packers team to be the best team ever.
So are you still with your coffee even upgrading to a large? Are you still at zero effect on your nothing? That's interesting.
But I drink coffee on my lunch break.
Okay, that's also interesting. So it's not a morning thing.
No, remember I don't like doing things in the morning.
No, but coffee is a pretty widespread.
Coffee's
one of the greatest
thing
things
that
to do
gets
in the
you to want to do stuff in the morning. It's the whole point.
In my life, I have everything like down to an exact minute. Like I know exactly when I need to get out of bed. I know exactly when I need to get out of the shower, exactly when I need to get out of the shower, exactly when I need to brush my teeth, and show up to work exactly 1 minute before work starts. That's how I live my life.
No.
So
I'm not buying this for a second.
Coffee would put a very big wedge into that kind of agenda of my mornings.
Luke, let me ask you something. So if your life is down to the minute, right?
Yep.
How were you basically locked out of the NFL draft because you got there too late?
Well, I had accounted for the Packers not limiting people coming in. I assume it was just everyone who shows up is going to come in.
That's actually a fair point.
It was an oversight on my part. That's what we call an outside variable that I did not use my scientific method.
See, tune into us. You learn math shit here.
Yeah.
Honestly, some of the stuff we talked about today is very smart. Mm-hmm. It's kind of high IQ conversations today. Do we want to answer any of Randy's questions in the chat? I appreciate Randy being here. Yeah, we kind of already did favorite coffee for Luke.
Let me take a look here.
Favorite lemonade? Is there a bad lemonade? Like, let's be real here.
We already talked about that.
Pink lemonade.
No, a bad.
I know, but pink lemonade's the best one.
Yeah.
That's our favorite.
I would say that every other lemonade is bad compared to pink lemonade. That's how good pink lemonade is.
And pink lemonade's always great.
Favorite coffee is hot black coffee, no creamer, no sugar. Favorite milk, all milk sucks. Favorite cheesesteak.
Whole milk is garbage.
What? No.
Favorite cheesesteak. I like cheesesteaks. I like with the cheese whiz on it. That's fun. When will the Jets win the game? I think Big Cat said that in 500 million years, the sun is going to collapse on itself. So who even cares? And I kind of feel like that's how Jets fans live their lives. Luke crushing on last
True.
night's show. I appreciate it, Randy. Thanks for being there. Is Baker Mayfield the MVP so far? Baker Mayfield's probably a top 5 quarterback right now, right?
Yeah.
I saw somebody did. I mean, it was just probably rage bait on one of those shows, but it was the MVP rankings was Josh Allen, Mahomes, Jordan Love. That is the wrong order. Baker has to be 1 or 2 right now.
Baker's up there. Daniel Jones is in the top 5, I would say.
Yeah.
Comeback player of the year rules kind of changed on who can be comeback player of the year, right? Daniel Jones is like comeback player of the year this year.
Right. I don't think he's eligible. The Joe Flacco rule. You have to actually come back from something.
Yeah,
it can't just be being mid.
So
who came back?
That being
McCaffrey.
said,
oh yeah, okay.
You were good thing you said that because you were not going to like the name that was about to come out of my mouth.
What was it?
Need to hear it now.
The current 25-1 odds to win comeback player of the year tight end for the Miami Dolphins, Darren Waller.
I've seen a lot of people post that, but yeah, it's Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey could get hurt, and I feel like he's going to be front runner.
That's fine. Yes.
How does Darren Waller even count? He just retired.
Yeah,
that was his own volition.
But
you can't call that a comeback because you got sad over your girlfriend leaving. What's wrong with you?
He at least came back from, like Daniel Jones just was asked to play safety and then went to the Vikings. That's not like he was at least in the league. Darren Waller was out.
Yeah, because he tried to be a rapper. We should not be giving that gold star.
I agree with that take.
I agree. No, I agree. I'm just saying he's at least eligible. We need to at least include him in the conversation so we can turn him down, like Kelsey did. You know, otherwise, yeah, I don't know who else would even be a good. I'm not looking at the odds, but I don't even know who else would be included. I don't know.
By the way, this is kind of random, but I was scrolling on Twitter today and I saw a bit that somebody at Barstool was doing. They're doing the immaculate grid for like the WNBA every day until they get all 9 right. That is a very good bit.
That's gonna be impossible. It's like doing that for hockey. Could you do that for hockey right now? That would be insane.
It would be close. I can get like 4 or 5.
I don't know.
But we go to historical
hockey's not
players.
It's not about the players, you know?
No. Also, like, these players play for, like, every fucking team. And they play to, like, 50. You can't remember any of this.
That's fair. Who's the worst kicker in the league? I don't know, man. Anders Carlson. I don't think he's anywhere. It was Jake Moody, but he got cut.
Anyone between Mason Crosby and Brandon McManus?
Yeah.
Fair.
I feel like I know that the Packers got a lot of shit for that. They didn't get quite enough shit for just not caring about the kicker position.
We just picked up Brandon Narvison and nobody said anything.
Right.
They cared. They just did it completely the wrong way. We invested in the kicker position, just not the correct way. Not with money.
Yeah.
Like we used draft picks, which is stupid. We did the same thing with punter. Drafted J.K. Scott. Doesn't work. Just wait for everybody to waste draft picks. We'll figure out who's good and then just pay them. That's
kind of similar way to how I play fantasy football with kickers and defense.
Yeah, I feel like it's a fair rule for anything. Don't draft a white boy from Alabama, and you'll probably be okay.
Mac Jones.
Look at Mac Jones.
Yeah.
I don't like his attitude right now. He's being too politically correct, but one more game, he's going to start grabbing nuts again.
That's another question that I'm kind of curious about. Add to like 6 questions about the Packers on the theme of this show, which this question is not about the Packers, but it's kind of more about the NFL, which I'm interested if you guys have any ideas. I just thought of this real quick. How many, right? So when Brock Purdy comes back, Brock Purdy is going to be the starting quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers. How many quarterback rooms had a 7th round pick and a 1st round pick and the 7th round pick starting over the 1st round pick?
Not many.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't name another 7th round pick to start from a while.
Right.
Well, any team was Ryan Fitzpatrick undrafted?
I don't remember.
And I want to clarify that by saying that like the 1st round quarterback is not a guy who they like a Mahomes where they take him and set him as rookie year.
I can ask Brock really quick how many 7th round quarterbacks have started games if we care about that. Okay. We'll go out on that. You give me some time here while this loads, but
Okay. Oh, I have one more thing for you guys. Kind of a quick thing. I got into a 20-team dynasty college basketball league.
I hate
that's
that.
insane.
Hate. How is it dynasty? They leave
No.
after like 4 years.
Yep, no idea. I assume that
20 teams is crazy. Where do you even do this?
if your guy gets drafted, then you get like a higher pick in the rookie draft, and the rookies being freshmen, something like that.
Okay, so since 1990, 61% of the 51 quarterbacks started drafted in the 7th round never started a game.
Okay.
So actually a decent number, 39% have started a game, which is
Like
interesting.
Those are good odds, actually.
17 players or whatever.
Yeah, so we got Brock Purdy, we got Ryan Fitzpatrick, like you said, Matt Castle.
Oh, yeah.
We got Skylar Thompson, the GOAT. John Navarre, Gus Ferroti.
Oh, he
Gus
slammed
Frerotte.
into the wall and broke his neck.
Right.
Maybe not broke his neck, but something like that.
And then we got Pat Hayden. Those are the ones that they listed as notable.
It seems like a lot more recently we've seen a lot more 7 stringers.
I've also seen a lot of bad play lately, so that probably is.
Mm-hmm. Then the discount for age has been pretty drastic lately too. Like that's the reason why Brock Purdy was low.
Yep.
Do you guys remember when Ryan Fitzpatrick was just carrying and dogging the hell out of the Dolphins, and then they said, let's put Tua back in there? That was a crazy time.
It was great. They would put him in, and then, okay, now Tua, you go in now and lose the game, or vice versa. It's good
Really
stuff.
good, guys.
Really good. Okay, we will be back next week to talk about Joe Flacco making history.